Good evening, everybody. This is Sonia coming to you with Staying Healthy Conversations. I think I'm a minute early. So, hello and welcome to the couch. Sunday evenings, Staying Healthy Conversations coming to you live from Willoughby. I'm just going to get my phone to make sure it doesn't buzz in your ear. Have you had a great weekend? It's lovely having these conversations on Sunday afternoon because we've had a big week, we've had an exciting weekend, and this is a great time to just sit back and relax. And if you join me live, I look forward to seeing you online. If you watch this as a replay, that's fantastic. You know I put this up on the website, on LinkedIn, and on my YouTube channel. So don't think you've got to be a Facebook person and a Facebook Live person to catch our conversations each Sunday afternoon. So Sonia Ray, I'm the founder and head trainer here at Sterling Results Fitness Club. We are based in Sydney, but we look after people globally, both on our treks and with fitness, especially around a Trek Fit program. My motto is, I look after those who are or who want to be fit, fabulous, and over 50. Although, as I say, you don't actually have to be over 50 at the time. So it's great. One of my youngest clients is 30, one of my oldest is 90. So I think that fit, fabulous, and over 50 sort of fits us in the middle there. It's quite good. Tonight's conversation is going to be about exercise recovery. One of my clients asked me to cover that off during the week. So I'd like to spend a bit of time tonight talking about and getting your feedback on exercise recovery. Hello Sue, hello Jane, lovely to see you tonight. Very kind that you've dialed in again for us, so welcome. And to other visitors as you pop in, lovely to see everybody. So exercise recovery is our conversation tonight, and like every week, if you can jot down your thoughts, give me a thumbs up, give me a hi as you're watching so that we know you're online would be great. I noticed last week as I was watching people on their Facebook Lives, sometimes it just comes up in your feed and you're probably scrolling through, but I might see your name or I might see your face and I might say hi, and then you scroll off. And hey, that's fine too. Maybe you'll come back and watch us. But I know there's a lot of people who engage, so I look forward to hearing from you as the conversations continue. So, exercise recovery. We want to talk about this because when you're working out, whether that be in the gym or on a nice long hike, then you need to come up with ways that you can get your body back to homeostasis, back to normal. So we live in a relaxed state and then we put our body under duress, under stress. So we need to look at ways to recover, to get back to the natural state. And they call that in the industry homeostasis, and we want to get our body back to that environment. So I'm going to look at it from several areas. I'm going to look at it during exercise. So what does it mean to have exercise recovery while you're exercising? And I'm going to talk about exercise regularity. And then most important, spend most of our time talking about what we can do post-exercise. So what about you? Let's talk about why we might need or what experience we might have had to have this conversation about exercise recovery. Who remembers the first time they did lunges? So I remember back the very first day I did a pump class. It was way back in 2000. And if you've ever done a pump class, they spend 5 minutes doing lunges. And your first class, you've never done a lunge, so you're learning how to do it. And down you go, lunge, 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 lunge. Well, I tell you, I could not walk for 3 days. You know, I was in so much pain. I couldn't sit, I couldn't stand, I couldn't move. I mean, the whole message of DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, was taking over my body. So it's really important that when we put our body under that sort of stress, that we look at ways that we can help it, manage it, and perhaps ease that stress. So we don't really want DOMS, even though, you know, it means we're tearing our muscles, so it's sort of good for us, but also it's really hard and really awful. And if it's your first time exercising and you put through this delayed onset muscle soreness, DOMS, I tell you, it's really hard to get up the next morning and go back again. So what we want you to do is come back. So if you're online now or if you're online later and you've experienced DOMS, it'd be great for you to perhaps tell us your story. Tell us what exercise you did. You know, was it overhead extensions and you're doing this and then the next morning you couldn't wash your hair? What is it that you might have experienced? And also, if you've got a story through the conversation, what you did to help that soreness, to help that release of the muscles, to help you get in a more managed state. So that's the sort of conversation we're going to cover tonight. As you recall, I have a couple of notes down here. I get my glasses on so I can read them, just so that I stay on track, because effectively the last thing we want to do is drift all over the place. Happy to drift if you write a conversation. So three areas I'm going to look at: during exercise, exercise regularity, and post-exercise. So let's have a look at during exercise, and I suppose we want to look at it from your trainer's perspective, or what you might do when you're setting up your own program. You might have heard of the word reps and sets. You might have heard of rest periods. So, you know, when we're doing exercise in the gym, you're effectively putting, as I said, your body under duress, and so your trainer has probably set you up in sets. So you might do a bunch of exercises, a certain number of reps per exercise, and we call that a set. So you might do some upper body, some lower body exercises, and you might do 4 or 5 exercises. Once you've done that once, you have a little rest. And we like to have a 1 to 2 minute rest to get your body back down again, to get some fluids into you, to relax the muscles for a moment, maybe even do a little bit of a stretch before repeating that set. So often you'll do 3 or 4 sets perhaps in a class, and you really want to make sure you're relaxing. In our Thursdays, we have Tabata Thursday here at the gym, and Tabata Thursday is a 20-second on high intensity, a 10-second rest, 20 seconds on, 10, 20, 10, and we do that for 4 minutes. At the end of that 4 minutes, I give the guys about a minute and a half to 2 minutes rest. So again, if we've lifted our heart rate up super high, we just calm it back down again. It gives us a time to breathe. Again, have some hydrolyte or some electrolytes or some water. Rehydrate our body so that we can go again. Back down so we can elevate it up again. If you're doing strength training, and when I do strength training with my clients here under the personal training sessions, that's when rest is really vital. You might have heard of 1RM. So that means your highest possible weight that you can do for 1 rep. So your maximum weight you can do for 1 rep. That means if you push, that's it, you're done. And we often in strength training build up to an RM. So we might say 65% of our maximum rate, 85% of our maximum rate, 90% of our maximum rate. If I'm training you and you're doing a strength session, and we're going at 90% of your maximum weight you would ever be able to lift for 1 rep, then we have very small number of reps. We might only do 3 as we're building up. So 90%, we might be 3, 4, 5. 1, 2 for the chest press, 2, 3, and then we rest. And we actually might rest for 3 minutes. We might just do that and then take 3 minutes doing something else. Maybe do some abs, just do a bit of walking. There'll be something I've trained or planned for you, but we rest this entire muscle group and all its synergistic muscles for a few minutes, probably even 3 minutes. 3 reps, 3 minutes. And then we might do it again. But we actually do that probably 8 times. So when we're doing a strength session, trust me, there is a lot of rest period, because you really are tearing your muscles and you need to bring them back into rest. So if your trainer makes you rest, they're doing a great job, because it's vital to your recovery and to your long-term benefit as you build muscle. So resting during exercise is as important as what we're going to look at now, which is exercise regularity and then recovery after exercise. So during programming, a quick one here. If you're starting out at the gym, I often say it's not a good idea to just do back-to-backs, like say do a Monday and a Tuesday and then have the week off and then do a Monday and a Tuesday, because you're not giving your body rest after that first session. So if it's your first time in the gym, your body is going to be shocked. It's a bit like I did that pump class in 2000. It took me 3 days to recover from that. So, if you're doing, when you're planning your exercises and you're planning your regime, your exercise routine, make sure that you have a few days in between. You might go Monday. This is again, if you're a beginner, you got to go Monday, have a rest day Tuesday, Wednesday, come back to the gym Thursday, have rest Friday, Saturday, Sunday, come back Monday. So Monday, Thursday, Tuesday, Friday. It's a great sequence if you're starting out at the gym. If you're a regular gym goer and now you have no issues and you have no stress with your body and you're going lots, but you still need to put a rest day. So you might go Monday, Tuesday, rest Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, rest Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, rest. Rest in that person's situation might be yoga. It might be choosing something that's a stretching type of exercise, but not hardcore yoga, but maybe something that's that you can use as a stretch as well as to keep you active. So when you're making a regime for your exercise routine, think about what level of fitness do I have and how much rest should I give myself, so that you don't break those muscles and burn out. Because if you get into a lot of pain and if you're stressed, you're more than likely not going to go back to the gym. And then that breaks your routine. And we talked about last week about commitment and being consistent with our actions, and we don't need breaks in our routine. So rest and recovery is going to help you do that. Also, like for example, when I take people on these treks, I will actually write a Trek Fit program for them. And a Trek Fit program, by the time you're about to climb one of these mountains, you need to be exercising anywhere between around 6 days a week. But I will create a program for you that would cover strength, cardiovascular, flexibility, endurance. Flexibility and endurance. So we would cover all the facets of exercise over the week, but we would incorporate rest periods in there as well. So for example, I might say Monday's our strength day, Tuesday's yoga, Wednesday's a cardio day, Thursday's strength and core, Friday might be the rest day, Saturday an endurance hike, Sunday another rest day. So you might put a couple of rest days in there and mix the strength, the cardio, the flexibility out within. So when you are training, think about your training schedule. Always add rest in, even if you're training morning and night most days. Some people, high athletes, will train morning and night. They have to get their body in peak performance, but they also know I need to rest. So it might be that they do a Monday morning, a Monday night, a Tuesday morning, rest Tuesday night, rest Wednesday morning, Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, rest. So it's okay to do that. I know once you get addicted, it's hard, but it is so vital for your system. Once again, if you're online and you have some thoughts, whether now or later when you hear this podcast, love to get your views on how you incorporate rest into your training program. Do you take a day off? Do you work 6 days out at the gym 6 days a week and take a day off? Do you take 2 or 3 days? So you do a Monday, rest Tuesday, work out Wednesday, rest Thursday, work out Friday. Do you do different things? I do strength on Monday, Sonia. I go to yoga Tuesday. I have a rest day Wednesday. I've got cardio sessions on Thursday, strength on Friday, big long hike with you on Saturday, rest on Sunday. What does your week look like? Love to get your feedback on that. So the first 2 areas we've covered are looking at making sure that with your trainer, you're looking at rest within the program, and then looking at rest during your programming, so as you work at your week. But the most important part of exercise recovery is what you do after the exercise. And that is so important, because as you put your body under duress, we need to come up with some recovery aids, as I call them, to help you through the recovery process. Let's say, for example, you've done a massive workout or a massive hike as I said, you put your body under stress. What are some of the things that you could do immediately to help you recover? So the 6 areas we're going to look at are stretching, hydration, food, fuel, massage, bathing, and sleep. So let's have a look at those 6 areas, all of which, actually I don't think I bought my aids. I might have to go and get some in a second. All of which are brilliant in terms of helping you recover successfully. So stretching. Obviously at the end of a class, at the end of a hike, we like to recommend stretches. And so you probably will find that with all of your trainers, you'll have 5 minutes at the beginning to warm you up so you don't break a muscle, and 5 minutes at the end to lengthen your muscles again and help with stretching. There's a whole lot of research out there to say stretching is good, bad, or otherwise. It is just a wonderful way to get your body back to homeostasis and to just calm down, to integrate breathing into it, to lengthen your muscles, and to give you a nice feeling at the end of the stretch. Nothing worse after a long hike, hopping straight in your car and then driving 40 minutes and getting out and going, ooh, I actually can't get out of the car. Really important to stretch, because if you've done a big hike, you've really worn those muscles, so we need to lengthen them. And I love doing calf stretches and glute stretches and ITB stretches and quad stretches when we're out hiking. And likewise in the gym, if you've done a big upper body day, then you want to actually stretch out your upper body before moving on. So you just get yourself ready for that. Yep. Oh, good. We're past all this. This is good. I'm walking faster than I thought, which is great. Oh, this one. How long should you stretch for? So in the gym, I see a lot of people like to hold their stretches for 10 seconds, and that's because they don't realize that 10 seconds isn't very long. They think they've held it for a long time. But we do like you to hold your stretches at the end of a stretch for at least 30 seconds, 30 to 45 seconds. And the reason is there are these organs, these muscle organs that actually are starting to work while you're doing your stretching. And the first one is the muscle spindle organ, the MSI as I call it, the muscle spindle organ. That kicks in immediately, and that helps lengthen your muscle, and it works it's sort of like it's still activating as you're stretching out that muscle. But after 10 seconds, basically another organ called the Golgi tendon. See, I'm not very good with all these words, so I apologize. Golgi tendon. The Golgi tendon muscle then kicks in about 10 seconds after that. So basically by doing your stretches and holding them for a long time, you're moving through the different muscle fibers, and they're actually working with each other and then lengthening out your body. So then back after the Golgi's worked in, then the muscle spindle comes back again and lengthens out again. And you'll find that, because you'll notice when you stretch and you lift your leg up, say, and then you start breathing and you relax it, you can actually stretch it a little more. It goes a little further. And that's because all the different organs and muscles are actually working as you're doing that stretch. So I really encourage, if you're stretching, that you hold for a minimum of 30 seconds, potentially 45 if you've got the time. 10 seconds is not going to cut it. You need to count in your head, get a stopwatch, hold those stretches for as long as you can. Hydration. Now, I'm going to have a quick little pop over to here, because I had some over here. Hydration. Hydration is so key to exercise. It's absolutely vital. And even more so as we're coming up to summer, and even more so if you do high intensity, and especially on our hikes when they're long and endurance. So why do we need hydration? Obviously we're getting rid of our fluids in our body, and we need to replace those. Water is the most easiest way to rehydrate, and we all have water in the gym. It's a no-brainer. It's something we can do. But I also recommend adding in electrolytes to your routine, especially for those people who are doing, or elite athletes, or doing high intensity, or perhaps people who are sweating more, or people who are struggling with the heat. Add in some electrolytes. And electrolytes are so brilliant because they put back all those vitamins and nutrients that you've been losing through the exercise. So You can use the whole range of variations out there. Some taste nice, some taste nice. We try to keep away from the sweet ones. We try to keep away from the shop bought ones. But certainly there's a range out there. And your electrolytes are your sodium, your potassium, your chloride, your calcium, and your magnesium. So all of those beautiful nutrients or minerals are coming back into your body. The one I use is SOS. These guys are great. I've got little sachets in the gym, and this is a tub of it as well. Firstly, I like them because the flavors are nice, and a lot of the flavors can be really awful in electrolytes. Secondly, there's no sugars. Thirdly, they're filled with all of those minerals we just spoke about, lots of magnesium, potassium, and sodium, so they're really good for you. And trust me, they kick in and work straight away. So we use them on all of our long treks and our long hikes. And I had one on the way home from a hike today. So we only did a 7K hike, but it was hilly. It was also humid out there. So you could feel that your body was being depleted. So on the drive home, it's a 20-minute drive home. I put an electrolyte in my drink bottle, shake it up as hard as possible, and then douse it down. The nice thing I like about these, and there's a whole bunch over here, is they come in little tiny sachets. So you can just put a sachet in your wallet, and every time you think you're needing an electrolyte, they're there for you. So hiking, intense exercise, heat, or when you are just depleted of your minerals, pop some electrolytes in. They are going to make all the difference to you. They're really going to help, as I say, the hydration, the muscle fatigueness. They're going to improve your pH levels, obviously your blood pressure, or your other internal components. So grab some of these from me next time you're in the gym or on one of our hikes, because they are fantastic. And if you don't go to the gym or come to the hike, talk to me about them anyhow. Can you please post a photo of the SOS? I will, darling. I will, Sue. These are SOS. You can buy them online, but they usually set them in a big pack, but you can also get a trial kit. So I'll put all the details down for you, because I know you're in Canberra. You certainly don't get to my gym or my hike. So let me share some details with you on these. Number 3. So we talked about stretching. We talked about hydration. We talk about food. So food or fuel. So it's important, I think, when you're doing high intensity or doing some intense activity, to have a bit of fuel at the end. I know, again, on my hikes, I make my people have some snacks as we go around to continuously fuel up as we're hiking. If you've got a 3-hour hike, you want to have a little snack about an hour and a half in, about 4 to 5 Ks in, so that you can fuel your body. It helps you recover better if you've got some carbohydrates, some proteins, some natural foods going in. Best thing in the gym, a little handful of almonds. Nothing better. So something that's got lovely amount of micronutrients in it, great amount of vitamins, all the right nutrients for you. A little handful of almonds, for example, will do you a world of good. Bananas, something that's nice and tasty, that is going to refuel you immediately. It'll help and aid in your recovery. Bananas full of potassium, almonds full of all the right nutrients. So certainly recommend something like that. The 4th one, massage. Now, wouldn't we all love to have a massage all the time? So again, if you've been working out at the gym and you're working really hard, your body is going to be really sore. And so I do highly recommend giving yourself a massage or going and getting some treatment. But even just at the end of a hike or end of a workout, just massaging your own skin would be fabulous. I like to add some magnesium oil to my massage. If I'm massaging myself in, if I've got any muscle soreness, magnesium oil will be perfect for that. So the magnesium you use is basically magnesium chloride. Magnesium chloride absorbs directly into your skin. I know a lot of people take oral supplements, and that's fantastic. And magnesium's good for your entire body. You can overdose on it though, but that's another story. Magnesium's good for your entire body. So if you're taking it orally, that's fantastic. But if you want instantaneous muscle release, so you've hurt yourself, and I often get sore abs, we'll be doing ab rollers all day long in the gym, and it just pinches right up in here. So I will massage my tummy with a bit of magnesium oil. Or if I've got really stiff legs after a Thursday, having a massage with magnesium oil is something you could do. So the brand I use is Amazing Oils. It's a lovely brand. I've got plenty of stock in the gym. It's a lovely spray. It's actually in my backpack, which I could run and grab, but it's a great spray. Just massage it in. it works instantaneously, and it's a great release if you have any muscle soreness. Alternatively, just pop off to your massage therapist. I'm sure she or he will make you feel $1 million afterwards. So that was number 4. On the same line as number 4 is number 5, and it's have a bath. This is again for those people who perhaps are feeling sore after an intense exercise. If you've done a long hike and you're just exhausted, again, a bath is going to make the world of difference. I actually have 2 baths a week, generally on a Wednesday night. That helps me get ready for my Thursday, Friday workouts, and generally over the weekend, or Friday, Saturday, or Sunday night. Why a bath? Well, first of all, you're sitting in a nice relaxed state. You're actually going to be breathing more, you're going to be relaxing. You probably put a Netflix movie on, you've got a glass of wine or a glass of water, and you're just relaxing. You might have a beautiful hot bath with some magnesium chloride in that. I'll talk about that in a second. Or research says if you're in intense pain, have a cold bath. So perhaps not for me, but 15 degrees, 15 to 20 minutes, you will have the world of difference done to you if you have a cool to cold bath. But for the rest of us, have a nice hot bath, sit there and relax. And again, magnesium chloride. So lovely magnesium chloride salts, stay there. Oh, quick run. Right next to me is my tub of magnesium chloride. So I have a nice 5 kilo tub that resides in my bathroom. Amazing Oils magnesium chloride. It is a fantastic, you just put a cup of magnesium chloride in your bath. Once again, you're going to feel like $1 million straight afterwards. You're having a... See, Libby knows she's had a big week. She's out quite hard in the gym and all over. So she does, I believe, Libby, that it's great for you to have a bath, and hopefully you've got some salts there that you can throw in to make yourself feel a lot better at the end. So recommend that to everybody, not just for muscle soreness, but if you take a bath with magnesium, your whole body is going to feel refreshed. Sometimes if I've got a night event and I've had a big gym workout, I'll be able to sneak in a 30-minute bath between finishing at the gym and heading out at night, and I'm completely refreshed. So highly recommend a magnesium chloride bath for you. Once again, magnesium chloride is a little different to magnesium sulfate. Epsom salts, any magnesium bath salts that you buy or you're given at the hotel or whatever, are probably magnesium sulfate. Epsom salts are magnesium sulfate. Doesn't quite work as well. It does work. You just have to stay in the bath longer and perhaps use more of them. But the chloride is a little bit more expensive, but it works really well. So I love the ability to just get there, have my bath, get relaxed, and come out completely refreshed. So that's my song and dance on magnesium salts. Once again, you can find plenty with me in the gym if you need them. Now, the last one, and by the way, I've got a tip of the week coming up after this, but the last one on this recovery cycle is sleep. It's probably the most crucial area of all our recovery conversations. I'm hoping that most of us get a decent night's sleep. I know perhaps if you're going, which a lot of my clients might be, perhaps if you're going through menopause, sleep is not always the easiest thing that we have. But for the rest of us, I hope we're all getting a good night's sleep. But sleep is a great way to get your body back to homeostasis, to really get you recovered from what you've been doing during your day, through your work stress, your family stress. Yes, families are lovely, but they are stressful. You need to recover, and we all know that it says between 7 to 9 hours sleep a night. If you're coming to my classes at 6:15 in the morning, I really recommend that you get to bed and try to shut down by 9:30 so that you get your good 8 hours sleep before really pumping yourself at the gym. It is so vital. So these ideas of going to bed at 10 and 11, if you're getting up early, you're going to need to ponder that. Now, why and what is it for? So let's have a look at this. I think you will know this, but I'm going to go through it. Sleep obviously makes us feel better. You get a good night's sleep. How many people say to me, I've had a terrible night's sleep, and they just literally find it really hard the next morning? So a good night's sleep will make you feel better. It'll make you more alert and more energetic. And of course, it makes you able to concentrate on your tasks. But on top of this, it will keep your immune system strong. your heart and blood vessels flowing nicely. It allows for growth and healing, so especially when you tear a muscle or you're sick, healing. It helps control your appetite and your weight. So again, the right amount of sleep will manage what you're feeling in your body, and it'll help in your memory and learning. So it's so important to have good sleep in your daily regime and to get enough sleep. So what I had to do was I wanted to research tips for us on sleeping habits so that this became a good conversation for us. So let's see what the seven little steps that the researchers told us. Obviously, and I think again, this is pretty common sense to you, but let's just go through it. So you might go, oh yeah, I know, I've been telling myself that I should do it. One is get a good routine when it comes to going to bed. So, you want to be able to get this night's sleep. We all know we're going to do it. How do we get the 8 to 9 hours? So get yourself into a routine. And so that might mean, all right, I know I want to shut things down. So if I'm going to watch a bit of telly at night or talk to the family, I want to sort of shut it down. So 9:30, I don't take phone calls. 9:30, I turn off the telly. I might go upstairs. I might do a few little things, but I'm cutting down the big, like I move out from the lounge and I move into the bedroom, or I move out from the lounge into a nice quiet area. So I'm deciding that it's time to shut down. I'm telling my body it's time to get tired, get rid of the active components. If you were a mum or a dad, what did you do with your little ones when you tried to get them to go to sleep? You probably wrapped them in that big cloth, you tucked them in, and you got them into a state that they could fall asleep in. So we need to put ourselves in a state that makes it easy for us to fall asleep, and that is getting a routine. So 9:30, 10 o'clock, I need to shut myself down. I need to turn the lights out by, set yourself a rule every night. Turn the lights out by 10:15. I know it sounds like we're back to being 17, but if you're having a bad night's sleep, these things are probably going to will probably help you. The other reverse, though, is we want to make this consistent. We don't want to get overdose. It's like binge sleeping, binge drinking, binge sleeping. We don't overdose on the weekends. If we're used to having 8 to 9 hours on the weekdays, let's have 8 to 9 hours on the weekends. Or if we've been having 11 on the weekends and 6 on the weekdays, can we try and even that out so that you get a lovely routine? You still wake up at 7 on the weekends and you still go to bed at 10. Sure, if you're going out to dinner and theatre, enjoy the night, but try to get into a lovely routine. Exercise will help you sleep better. So keep exercising. That's a great thing. It's a catch-22, isn't it? You exercise, you sleep better. If you sleep better, you exercise better. So think of the circle of life. More exercise, better sleep. More sleep, better exercise. It's going to help you. Try not to use your technology. We've heard this now so much. Prior to go to bed. Love to know if people are using the blue light system, because there's a lot of conversation about using your IT and your technology but getting onto those new lights. So if someone's experienced that, and by the way, love to get your feedback on ways that you get better sleep techniques. So jot that down into the conversation tonight. Don't start drinking those high buzzy components like the alcohols and the caffeines just before going to bed. I must admit, if I go out to dinner, a short black puts me to sleep, but then again, I'm probably a bit weird. But most of us know caffeine will keep you awake most of the night, so let's try and keep away from those and avoid those. This one is interesting because it works for me, but it doesn't work for everybody. And of course, it's making your room conducive to sleep. So we know that we've got the hormone melatonin. It's released as it gets darker. So when the sun goes down, melatonin hormone is released. It makes us more tired. That's knowledge. So get your room in that way. I know if my blinds are open and my windows are blaring open, I hear all the car noises, I see all the street lights, it's just really hard for me to fall asleep. But others of you, I've taken people away on lovely treks and they can't stand the darkness. They need the light. So of course we're all different. But if you can, avoid the noise, avoid the light. It will put your body into that lovely calming sense. The melatonins will go, yeah, I know it's time to sleep. I will sleep. And you'll get into that sleep pattern. I've got this one called active brain syndrome, I've decided to call it, because some of us when we work really hard, our brain is constant. And I remember always, waking up many times during the night with these head full of ideas or worries about work, and it's just active. So active brain syndrome, best way for me to get rid of that is have a pen and a paper by the bed. If I wake up with ideas, just jot it down. As soon as you get rid of it, you're going to go back to sleep because you've written it down, you're not going to forget it. These days, of course, just turn your voice memo on and record it. Remind me to ring Liz tomorrow, blah, blah. So just speak into the phone, quickly, done, dusted, go back to sleep. So the more you hang on to the thoughts, the more you're not going to get any sleep. And I always love this one, and it's a bit silly, but how many of us know we have to go to the toilet and don't want to go? Don't want to wake up. I'm not waking up. Or I don't want to make noise in the house. Or if I'm camping and tenting, if I've got to walk past all these people's beds, they're all going to hear me. Well, now you're awake all night trying to avoid what you have to do. So, you know, whether it's active brain syndrome or something else, just get rid of it and life is going to be a lot easier. Once again, if you've got some ideas for us, for the audience, put down your ideas of how you've best, ways you've best helped you get to sleep. A cup of tea at night with honey. You know, what is it that you have done to get you into the mode so that you get a good 6 to 8 hours sleep? These days with Fitbit, it's a great concept to measure your sleep. How much deep sleep are you getting? How much solid sleep are you getting? The technology now tells us what we're sleeping like. It also tells us our heart rate, so you can monitor all of this and just see whether or not there's anything you need to change and how you're feeling. So they are my post-recovery suggestions: water, fuel, stretching, massage, baths, and getting a great night's sleep. So I hope this has been helpful, talking about recovery during exercise, planning your exercise routine, and recovery after exercise. Now, as I mentioned, tip of the week, and it's actually to do with this topic. So bear with us for one more moment, because the tip of the week, I'm going to introduce this at our Sunday night conversations, Staying Healthy Conversations, and this tip is all about breathing. So tonight I just want to spend a little bit of time reminding us how important our breath is. For those who do yoga and meditation, it's probably a no-brainer. But a lot of us don't spend time thinking and concentrating on our breathing. But if we can focus on that and focus on the inhale and the exhale, I'm going to talk about why it's so important to your overall well-being, both from a health perspective, from a weight perspective, from a heart perspective, from a stress perspective. Research says long exhales are really important, and so a normal breathing is fine. It's practicing the inhale and the long exhales that we need to get into the habit of to give us a healthy lifestyle. Let's have a look at the science. So you might be aware, let's have a look at the nervous system. You might be aware we have two nervous systems, the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. So the central nervous system is the spinal cord and all the nerves that come off of there. And the peripheral nervous system is more, involves a lot of the voluntary and the involuntary actions that we do. Have you heard of fight or flight? Have you heard of rest and digest? So these are words that people often talk about. The fight or flight is the sympathetic, I'm not good with my words, sympathetic nervous system, and the rest and digest is the parasympathetic nervous system. So these act in our brain voluntarily. We don't put them on. And guess what's working most of the time? Which of those two are we mostly doing? So the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight, is happening all the time. Because every day you have work stress, family stress, personal stress. You are dealing with decision making all the time, and off and off you go. Bang, 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 bang. You've got to get up in the morning, make the kids school. I've got to go to the gym, make the kids school, get them to school, go to work, deal with 400 emails. Boss is killing me in this hour. Someone wants some of my attention in this ear. Got to get home, pick up the kids, take them to sport, get myself to the gym, pick up the kids, get them breakfast, now it's dinner, aren't we? Get them dinner. Am I exhausted already? Because that's your life. So for most people, that is a normal day. And we haven't even got to 7 p.m. yet. No wonder you need a glass of wine. So the fight or flight is constantly active because you're trying to make decisions, you're trying to make, the right decisions, and so you're actually in a little bit of stress most of the time. It's only when you pops go off on the Saturday and you have a nice yoga and a meditation session and you get to breathe and you go, you calm down, that your parasympathetic nervous system comes into play. And when you're in that state, when you're thinking about resting and digesting, when you're sleeping, when you're having that bath and you're relaxing, every part of your body is calm. You're breathing slower. You're actually in control. You're telling your brain, I am okay. Everything is okay. And it goes, yeah, that's great. Whereas in the other one, everything is chaotic, not okay, and I am on a juggle. So guess what you can do? You're not going to do this if you're fighting in the jungle against a lion, because that fight or flight is serious. But if you're just dealing with those day-to-day stresses and you want to manage them better, then think about your breathing. Because in that parasympathetic nervous system, in that rest and digest phase, you are doing very long, controlled breaths. When you're sleeping, you are breathing in a very controlled manner. So if we took that and we practiced that technique, how much better would our decision making be? How much calmer would we be with our family? How much less stress would we have if we just took the moment to breathe? And all we need to do is inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, exhale. I love to use the counting because if the counting happens, you are consciously thinking about how long your exhale is. I use this a lot in the gym. I do a relaxation session with a lot of my classes. They always ask it for more often. I probably should do it every week. But it's a great way just to get your breathing under control and get you into a relaxed state. If we could practice this 3 to 4 times a day, before you wake up, mid of the morning, lunchtime, afternoon, a couple of times during the day, you will find that you'll be able to use it as a technique to help you manage your stresses. Now, I wish I'd thought about this when I was in, or even knew about this when I was in the working world, but I didn't. So I was always high stressed. But now I spend so much of my time breathing, whether it's during the stretching phases of our exercise, whether it's through the relaxation phases, or just because I need to take in the breaths and out, I've become a lot calmer. I use it especially when climbing high altitude mountains. You think there's no air up there. Well, imagine if you had a control of your breath when you're climbing in an environment that has no air. You can manage it so much better. So 6,700 Aconcagua, I'm sitting there going, I'm nearly dead, like it's really hurting. But that breath has got me back in control. So think about the two I'm going to give examples of. Think about in the gym, you've worked really hard, your heart is pumping, you're going, oh my God, I think I'm going to die, I can hardly breathe. I get you to sit, I get you to relax, and I get you to breathe. If you're in my gym, if you're in your own gym, do the same thing. You've worked hard, you're not going to die. Hopefully everything's okay. Hopefully you've been tested and everything's fine. So assuming that everything is good, you just worked hard and your heart is pumping. So we need to calm that down. So in your rest and recovery phase, start practicing big inhales and exhales. Your inhale might only be 2 breaths. Your exhale might be 4, because you might not have any lung capacity to breathe in anymore. You might have to go but make your exhales longer than your inhales. On hiking, I love it with hiking. We go upstairs, up, 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 and you are feeling like you are going to, heart is going to pump out of your brain. You're just like, oh my God, this heart is just blowing up. Once again, stop, take 10 breaths. When I'm teaching people or taking people up to high altitude, when I take clients to high altitude, I teach them 10 steps, 10 breaths. So in 10 steps, you've probably used up your allocation. Now have 10 breaths. In, and out. All of this is to get your systems working back again. So as I close out, why don't you start practicing your breathing? I'm going to sign off for tonight. Don't forget, love to hear some suggestions from you of topics you would like covered to keep you healthy. Love to talk about things that we can have a dialogue with. I post this video on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and my website, so you can come back and watch it at any time. Don't forget to join us on the hikes at the gym. This week, we're in week 5 of an 8-week challenge. So for those who are part of my 8-week challenge, look forward to telling you what your challenge this week is. But in the meantime, stay fit, stay healthy, and stay well and happy. This has been Sonia Ray. Have a sterling day.